So I'd like to invite you to see what it's like on the ship, the galley. It's the end of the day. I finished my day. It's all cleaned up, but I thought I'm going to take this opportunity to give you an insight into what it's like when you get on board. Where are you going to eat? Where's the food? Because that's an important part of the time when you're going to be on the ship. I've been on over 35 different ships, 35 different galleys. Every galley is different, every ship is different. But the one thing that they all have in common, 3 meals a day. So we have breakfast, lunch, and suppers. What I would suggest you do, because each ship is different, when you get on board, when you come down to the galley, and you introduce yourself as the new cadet, I would just say, when do you serve your meals? Then you get the information from the particular ship that you're on. I think that's the best way to start. So I am not making breakfast in the morning. I work with a second cook, so the second cook makes breakfast. If you have any food allergies or food intolerances, it's important that you let the chief cook know and the second cook. If you have a severe allergy to any particular food, you must let us know where you keep your EpiPen. We also have an EpiPen too. It's all about safety, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything possible to keep ourselves safe, because we are in charge for our own person and our safety and the rest of the crew. If you decide not to come for a meal, you can let the galley know, and they will put a plate aside for you. If you plan to go ashore, oh look, Kate has Kate has a plate. We put a plate aside for Kate. So. So the people who work 8 to 12, often they'll ask to have their plate aside. And Kate, who was also a cadet 3 years ago, hello Kate, she picked up her plate at 8 o'clock. The other thing, if you decide to go ashore and you're not coming for supper, it is nice to come in and tell the galley, you know what, I'm not coming in for supper, and then we won't wait for you. We will put a plate aside if you want, and if not, you'll eat ashore. So we've talked about where to get the food, now we can talk about the beverages. They have discontinued single-use water bottles, so I highly recommend you bring your own water bottles. They do supply water bottles, but I would bring my own, and then you'd know for certain that you have one. We have water coolers, and they are filtered, and they are checked and tested. The water is tested regularly, so this is where we get our water. I have my own very large cup where I have my own water. We have a milk machine, 20 liters. You can drink as much milk as you want. We will often ask for a hand to put it in because it's 20 liters and it's heavy. If you take the last glass of milk, please let us know. Really, if you take the last of anything, let us know so that we can replace it. So if you haven't come in for supper, or if you're hungry later on after supper, we have a cruise fridge where you have lunch meat, cheese. There's always a bowl of fruit out, and there's always leftover desserts. I usually have leftover bread because I love making bread. So there's usually bread on the counter. So there's always something to make. There's always peanut butter, jam, and there's always cereal. And you have, here on this particular ship, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kinds of cereal. So there's also cereal. When you come into each ship, like I said, it's different. This one is a cafeteria style. You pick up your tray, your knife, and your fork, and you move down the line. While you're in line, the etiquette is, if somebody is on watch and they only have a short amount of time to eat, you let them go first. Regardless if you're first in line, if you see them come in, you step aside, let them go first. If the captain comes down while you're in line, if he doesn't have a lot of time, I usually ask the captain, do you have time? If he doesn't, we'll move him in the front and serve him first. Usually he's like, no, let everybody, I'm in line, I'm gonna wait my turn. You wanna be aware if there's somebody behind you that needs to go ahead because they have to get back to work. So that's just a little something you'll get used to. So on all the ships, they have a menu board or a whiteboard where we write the menu. And so you can come in, have a look, and then you know what we're So by the time you get up to be served, you already know what you're going to ask for. There's usually a soup du jour, and then I like at lunchtime, I like to have a sandwich and then a hot choice. And then I also, for supper, like to have 2 options, make sure that there's something that everybody likes. We also have a microwave that the crew can use, and then they have their own coffee station. You can drink as much coffee as you want. We serve pop on special occasions, so there's certain meals that just go really good with pop, like chicken wings or hamburgers or pizza day. So we don't always have pop on board, but we do get it, and when we have a special meal, we will serve that. If you're on board for the holidays, like Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, we really try really hard to make up for the fact that you're not at home. So we will make extra things, like extra special things that you might eat at home, traditions. So it's kind of fun. I enjoy being here for the holidays because I get to make things that I don't normally make. So I really enjoy like putting on a spread for the holidays. It's not easy to be away from home, so we try our hardest, especially during holidays, to make it special. So here on this particular ship, like I mentioned, it's cafeteria style. So you pick up your tray, your cutlery, and you slide along. So usually there's salads here, desserts, you pick that up, and then you move along, and then I will serve you from behind the counter. When you're a cadet, you have the privilege of eating in the officer's mess room, but you also have the choice to eat in the crew's mess room. So that's really up to you where you want to eat, and sometimes they're close by the 2 eating areas. On this particular ship, one is on the starboard side, one is on the port side. You take your tray to the mess room, and you have your lunch or your supper or your breakfast, whatever you're having. When you're finished, you come back and you clear your plate. That's super important for the person who's washing the dishes. You want to make sure that your plates are cleared, your beverages are cleared, there's nothing left on your tray, and it really helps the person who is washing the dishes. We separate our garbage here. So we have recycling, we have food waste, and then we have paper waste. You want to make sure you put it in the appropriate bin, again, just to make it easier. Another thing that the galley does is we take care of the linen. When you come on board, there'll probably be a bag of linen ready for you for your bed. So the ship supplies the linen, the towels, and the soap. Yeah, you're responsible for shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, all of those things. We do have laundry facilities on board where you can wash your laundry. I always instill, after like years of sailing and 35 different ships, there is always 2 washing machines, 2 dryers. One always has a sign on it that says clean clothes. I'm like, why would you wash your clean clothes? But the clean clothes refers to your street clothes or your everyday clothes, not your work gear. Don't ever put your work gear in the clean washing machine, specified washing machine, because it just really is for your regular clothes. So that's something to watch for. And from linen, we have linen change once a week, which means once a week, usually Friday night at 6:30 or 6, you bring your linen, your towels, your bed sheets, and exchange them for clean. You have the option to wash your own linen, but we will do it for you. Not us. We send it offshore, but we will exchange your linen and give you clean linen. So that is once a week. Another thing to remember is we are all here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but we're not always working. So if you do have something specific that you need from the galley or from one of your supervisors, or you have a question that you deem really important, it's important to respect their working hours. You may find yourself helping out in the galley. Like when we get groceries, it's literally all hands on deck, because we usually get a $10,000 to $15,000 grocery order, which is a lot of boxes of groceries. So everybody who's available helps. So you want to be comfortable to be able to come in and help in the galley, and it's nice for us to get an extra hand. Like if you see something that needs to be helped lifted, or if you see something that like I said, if something's empty, or if you empty something in the mess room, we really appreciate when you bring the empty bottle in and just show it to us to say we need a new one. So those are things. It's kind of like at home too. Like who doesn't like somebody to come give them a hand, right? Like that's something that just we all work together, we all live together, we're all in the same boat. Pardon the pun, but that's that's how it works on a ship.